Welcome to the Fantasy Film Room presented by Toyota, the official automotive partner of the NFL. For today's Film Room, we are offering our final draft blueprint for success. This is the guy we do not want to leave drafts without. We want to get this guy in every draft this August. And the reason that we're doing this for the Film Room section, Chris, is because we're not just going to sit here and be like, well, based on his ADP, this guy's a real value, or there's fantasy points over this, that, and the other. No. We're talking about some real deal football takes here in the Fantasy Film Room because we have put our eyeballs. We've watched these players and we know that they're good. So, Chris, tell me, who is the one player that you want in every single draft this August?
Jaylen Waddle. Give me Jaylen Waddle. I don't care that last season was a complete disaster for him. I want to see a full season of him healthy. I want to see a full season. I think everybody wants to see a full season of Tua Tagovailoa healthy. But it's also the same offense that was passing more often, almost 39 dropbacks per game for Tua once he came back. That passing pie grew. We saw Jaylen Waddle still have a fairly decent air yard share. And of course, no Jonnu Smith that's going to be involved. And I mean, this is more subjective than anything else, but with all the chatter that Tyreek Hill's been putting out there, how much is he going to really be involved in this passing game in 2025 anyway? So I'd say the beef is more qualitative than anything else, but still, we're not too far behind from seeing Jaylen Waddle and Tyreek Hill be top 10 wide receivers. That was 2022. If we can see both of them be healthy this upcoming season, he's a guy that I do not want to leave my drafts with because I know that the Miami passing game is something that we've tried to target in years past. Just got to get the health part in check, but I believe that's going to be the case for this upcoming season.
I love it. I'm ahead of consensus on Jaylen Waddle too. I really think, again, from a structure perspective, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine might be a sneaky signing for this team because I don't think people realize this, Chris. Jaylen Waddle has taken over 80% of his snaps on the line of scrimmage each of the last 2 years. Ever since Tyreek Hill has been there, that has been going up because he has to run the routes against press coverage because they're moving Tyreek Hill around, doing all the fun stuff. What if they start to do more of that with Jaylen Waddle? Because Tyreek Hill is making Mike McDaniel's life miserable, and he's like, hey, I'm not catering to the 31-year-old receiver anymore. I'm going to cater to the young guy that we gave a big contract extension to who's having a great camp. And Nick Westbrook-Ikhine takes some of that sacrificial X receiver duties away. So I love the idea of Jaylen Waddle as a potential upside bet. A guy that we, again, talk about, this is the perfect rebound candidate, Chris. A guy that we've seen be good at football. And now is just going to be a little bit more efficient this year because of the surrounding variables. I'll stick in the X receiver ballpark, but a guy that I don't think is going to be very sacrificial this year. And God help me, Chris, I do not feel comfortable with the fact that George Pickens is the one player I will not leave drafts without this year. I mean, perhaps the most enigmatic wide receiver in the NFL, but I'm all in on Pickens this year. I think he is the most mispriced player in fantasy right now, still going outside the top 30 receivers, right around wide receiver 31. I've got him ranked almost 12 spots ahead of that. Again, I'm uncomfortably high on the George Pickens situation. And again, I'm telling you, man, it makes me uncomfortable. But listen, the biggest reason, again, this is get in the film room here. George Pickens took a big step forward last year as an individual player with a career best 72.8% success rate versus man, 77.6% success rate versus press, which is an 83rd percentile score and reception perception. Really took a big step forward as a man press beater. He's a perfect fit in the vacated X receiver role for the Dallas Cowboys. And again, this is a guy that's put it in the box score. He ranks 17th among wide receivers in yards per route run over the last 2 years combined. Now his routes, his targets, his catchable targets are all going to go up in a likely pass heavy offense with Dak Prescott. I think he could be one of, if not the most productive number 2 receivers in the league, as long as he's locked in. He's got every incentive to be locked in. So Chris, at times I've been mixed on Pickens, certainly in fantasy and even in real life. But this year, after the improvement that I watched last year, and again, him being in a new situation, I'm uncomfortably high on George Pickens. I want to get, if he's going to be going outside the top 5 rounds like he is at times right now, I will be getting him in every single draft.
Well, I mean, for the folks that are watching this live or catch this at some point later on, I mean, y'all have seen hopefully y'all have seen the shirt that I'm wearing. I mean, I have to represent my Bengals. And unfortunately, George Pickens has been a thorn in my side with him being in the AFC North for so many years now. But so now I can say, great, I think he's an excellent wide receiver, and I'm happy to see him flourish somewhere else. But let's look at how he fits within the Dallas Cowboys offense. You already made the point that without having a guy like Michael Gallup out there on the field for Dak Prescott, they have been missing some of that vertical element to their passing game. And I know a lot of Cowboys fans are probably will agree with me on this, that they're in a tight window throw or contested catch that Dak Prescott won't turn down. So if you have a guy like George Pickens that has been able to take on a lot of that role and be able to moss defenders and be able to operate in those contested catch situations, also be able to operate downfield. I mentioned him earlier as being one of the wide receivers along with Marvin Harrison Jr. that was averaging 12, 13 average, what his average depth of target was just this past season. He fits what Dak Prescott wants for this offense. So I can see a scenario where it's George Pickens on the outside, CeeDee Lamb continues to operate across the from the slot across the middle of the field, and we'll see what happens with any of the ancillary players, Jake Ferguson, so on and so forth. So I'm with you. I want to be overweight on a guy like George Pickens just because where he goes in drafts, you do want to continue to swing for upside at wide receiver, and where he's going in drafts right now, he fits that archetype receiver that you want to have as your wide receiver 3 flex type of play to really give you that punch to your squad.
Yeah, I love it. The weekly hammer. I mean, you mentioned your Bengals. I've been saying this since he got traded. Why can't he be the T. Higgins to CeeDee Lamb's Jamar Chase? You know, the move around number one alpha receiver. Those two guys line up on the same side of the field, creating mismatches. I'm very excited about it. And again, uncomfortably high on the entire Dallas Cowboys offense this year, but certainly on the George Pickens situation as a wide receiver 3 upside flex.